Okay, so I'm 2 days now into this half-day project, but I can see the potential in this. I've made this protractor 120 degree slot there, so I can set 2 stops, one at either end, to with any amount of degrees. I've got 5 degree graduations, so let's say 5 degrees wouldn't be much movement at all, so 10 degrees, however much you want. Between the 2 stops, and the potential is, as well as making this this radially, let's say I've got it set at 120 degrees here, I could create a radial flute 120 degrees, then by using a front indexing wheel that stepped it round, say 15 degrees, come up another however far you want vertically, and then put another, so you get staggered radial flutes, which will create like a spiral of flutes going up a workpiece when it's in the spindle orientation. But if it was a platter and you're working on the face, you could create spirals going into the centre. And the other good thing about this, because it's radial, it's proper circular rather than my original 2 pegs. That took 5 minutes to make, well, maybe a quarter of an hour. This will work with a sphere. So if you're decorating a sphere and you move, say, 15 degrees at the equator, that's a lot of movement. Well, it's not a lot of movement, but it's in proportion. It works in proportion from the pole to the equator, so you'll get this, the series of flutes will graduate out, so that could create some quite interesting effects on spheres and non cylindrical pieces. So that's to be experimented with. There's a whole world of experimentation. This will be a permanent part of my lathe. Now I can't see this fixture coming off. I drilled those 2 holes in the headstock when I made my original indexing system, which is back here behind the headstock indexing, knowing that at some point in the future I was going to use them. So now I have, and I think this will be there's loads of experimentation that can be done with this. Now I've got to get the platform working with the router. It's got to be held stable and be able to move it along in equal increments. I'm thinking of cannibalising a vernier and doing it digitally, like a DRO. So lots of options with this. Okay, I'll come back when I've done some work on the base part of it, the platform, the router platform. Right, I want to shout at Derek Bailey at Whitern Wood channel on YouTube, because part of the idea for this constraining rotation between the range came from his excellent circle cutting jig that cuts circles into faces of and sides of things. Well worth checking out that video. I'm planning on making something similar, but I'm still processing my own ideas for how I'd like to implement that. Okay, thanks for watching.